The sheep out in the meadow and the coyote in the
Welcome everyone, my name is Gabriel and today we are starting the Witcher lore series. I will try to cover as much topics as I can. Today we start with chronology of the short stories and books. I will try to show you the order of the short stories mostly, based on how the actual events happen one after another. Here we go. Short stories are covered in two books, The Last Wish and The Sword of Destiny. These happen before the saga, so let's go. Road with No Return, Seed of Truth, Lesser Evil, The End of the World, Last Wish, Storm Season, The Matter of Price, Witcher, The Voice of Reason, Border of Possibilities, The Ice Shard, Eternal Flame, A Little Bit of Dedication, The Sword of Destiny, Something More. And then here enters the saga, the 5 books covering Geralt and Ciri. Blood of the Elves, Time of Disdain, Baptism by Fire, Tower of the Swallow, Lady of the Lake. Before I go into the short stories themselves, remember I translated the titles as literally as I could, and as much as I know language English. It might be possible that if you buy the books, some of the translation I present here will not exactly match. I hope I try to stay as true as it's possible to the original. The first short story is Road with No Return. This one takes place before Geralt was born, dictates the meeting of Witcher's mother, a sorceress called Vicenna, with Corin, most possibly Geralt's father. The main story revolves around the fight with a monster and a bandit group called the Boners. It's very hard to translate the name of the group because it's a little bit of an old Polish mix. Then we have the Seed of Truth. It is a short story in the book Last Wish. It tells the story of Geralt's meeting with a man who is cursed, called Nivellen, owner of a villa deep inside a forest. Lesser Evil, as well placed in The Last Wish, describes events that happened in Blaviken and why Geralt is usually called by his nickname the Butcher of Blaviken. The End of the World. This short story features Dandelion for the first time, as well placed in The Last Wish. This story revolves around a hunt for a satyr, but the main event covers actually Geralt and Dandelion encountering a elven woman called Toruviel. She makes the appearance in the first game. Then we have Last Wish, the last short story in the book by the same title. Covers the first meeting of Geralt and Yennefer. Then we have The Storm Season. This is a book and it was published in 2013 by Andrzej Sapkowski. It's the newest work about Geralt. Happens in the city called Kerak. I will not cover this book here, and I will not go very deeply into it because I haven't read this one yet. Actually, I had no time to do it. But to the extent of my knowledge, it doesn't cover anything extremely important for the story that is generally presented throughout the short stories and the Witcher saga. The next short story is The Matter of Price. The events are happening in Sintra. The main plot rotates around Sintra's princess Pavetta and her future marriage. Not to spoil too much, I have to say this is a central and very important one, because in this story, Ciri's presence starts. Then we have The Witcher, the first story ever featuring Geralt, originally published in 1986. Covers the famous Striga fight in Vizima, when Geralt lifted the curse from Adda, Foltest's daughter. Those who played Witcher 1 and Witcher 2 are familiar with the king. The Voice of Reason. This short story is a mix of several chapters in the book Last Wish. They are actually intermixed with other stories, so are sort of an interlude. They cover a very important recovery period that happened after the fight with the Striga. They take place in the Melitele temple. Very significant place for Geralt. Border of Possibilities. This story is In the Sword of Destiny book, Geralt and a band of other mercenaries are hunting a dragon. After a lot of time, Geralt meets Yennefer. I recall it was 4 years when they parted. She is contracted to kill the dragon. The love and envy mix here, to say the least. The Ice Shard. Well, more complicated love between Witcher and the black-haired sorceress. As well, a love triangle. Another short story is The Eternal Flame. Dandelion and Geralt are in Novigrad. They are hunting a Doppler, a shape changer. In my personal opinion, one of the most funny of the short stories Sapkowski ever created. A little bit of dedication. Geralt in a mixed bag with a prince, a mermaid, and of course love as well there to complicate things even more. The Sword of Destiny. Important short story covers the first time Geralt meets Ciri in the Brokilon forest. Then we have Something More. After Sintra is conquered by Nilfgaard, Geralt, after an unfortunate fight, is wounded and in a very critical condition. I don't want to go very specifically about this last short story, because this one covers a very important beginning for the saga as well. Then comes the books. As the 5 books are in the chronological order, I will not sum up their stories here. You can read them if they are translated to English. I do know that the translation process is going on. Suffice it to say, it's a very nice reading, and from my personal experience, I highly recommend the books. I hope this little material was as informative as I could make it. Next time we will feature magic.